everyone! Quick note before I jump into this video. A month ago, I impulsively decided that I wanted to be an Identity 5 YouTuber, predominantly due to the fact that I wanted to justify spending so much money on this game, and I randomly made and posted a video titled What Your Identity 5 Main Says About You in a Single Afternoon. And then I sat around for a month, did nothing, went on vacation, and got sick. Only to come back and find that the video has now skyrocketed, having 15,000 views and nearly 200 comments, not to mention my account's already reached the 100 plus subscriber milestone. It's insane that all this happened while I wasn't even paying attention, but I want to give a huge thank you to everyone for supporting my content. Real talk, I'm a very anxious and nervous individual, especially when it comes to posting online, and especially when it comes to posting my voice online, and in a fandom space like Identity 5 no less. It means a lot to have all of these kind comments that seem to enjoy my content, and I just want to let everyone know that though my videos may be amateurish and a bit unfunny at times, I'm constantly working to better myself in my craft, and I'm keen to keep creating when I feel confident enough, even if it may come in sporadic patches. Thank you again to all my 100 plus subscribers that ambushed me out of nowhere, and with that, let's get into my Bungo Stray Dogs x Identity 5 crossover predictions. Now, most of you will not know this, considering I doubt anyone watching this video knows a single thing about me, except my friend Gabe, who's been really supportive about my channel, so hi Gabe. But Bungo Stray Dogs is my favorite anime and manga. I hesitate to call myself someone who watches or even likes a lot of anime because I'm very particular about it, but Bungo Stray Dogs 100% takes the cake for me. I'd call it a borderline fixation, given the fact that I play Tales of the Lost, a Bungo Stray Dogs mobile game, religiously, and I go out of my way as a literature fan to collect and eventually read many of the author's real works. Needless to say, I love Bungo Stray Dogs a lot, which makes me the expert for something like a crossover between two of my favorite things, even if it will rob me blind. But since I'm very confident in my knowledge of the series, I want to put my predictions out before anything about the crossover is officially released. So when it does eventually come out in-game, I can compare my answers. I also want to preface these predictions by saying that I am an American, and I struggle with the phonetics of some Japanese names and words. I mean no disrespect to the authors or anyone else if I mispronounce any names or titles in this video, and I ask to kindly please just be corrected in the comments for any mistakes I make. Though I may be an expert on the anime, I must admit that I watch it dubbed, and I am not a Japanese linguist. Anyways, all of that out of the way, here are my predictions for the Bungo Stray Dogs x Identity 5 crossover. First and foremost, we have Atsushi Nakajima. Though anyone who's actually read or watched Bungo Stray Dogs knows that Dazai is the real protagonist, Atsushi technically holds that title officially, so I see it as best to start with him. Realistically, for Atsushi, I only see him taking on the role of mercenary. To me, it's a perfect fit. Atsushi would always refuse to leave people behind, making him fit for a rescue role. Plus, his big tiger paws could function as the mercenary's elbow pads, similar to his Cheshire cat skin. And when they activate, the streaks that follow his elbow pads could even resemble Atsushi's ability use. To me, this skin is a no-brainer. Second off, there's Osamu Dazai, a fan-favorite Tumblr sexy man who's the perfect match for the novelist Orpheus. Though their shared, slightly taller, thinner frames are already matching for easy remodeling, that's not the only reason I figured Dazai would be cast as the novelist in the upcoming crossover. Orpheus's ability, while not exact to Dazai's, would not be unfitting, and during the in-game animation of Orpheus's ability, I believe it would be very easy and very logical to shift it to appear like Dazai is no longer human. Now, in terms of characters fitting for crossover roles, there's an elephant in the room when it comes to Identity 5. Geisha is a character almost perfect for Bungo Stray Dogs' Koyu. However, it should be noted that Koyu is less of a major character. I personally believe that the similarities between them are too striking for either party to miss out on. Though I've heard some people suggest that Geisha would make a good Kyoka, I have to strongly disagree. Geisha is infinitely more fitting for Koyu, given the age difference and the easy prajna form in the form of her golden demon ability. Though Kyoka's demon snow would also work, I highly doubt they would put her in this role given the striking age difference, and when Koyu is right there and infinitely more visually fitting. Since NetEase loves to milk Geisha for all she's worth, even though Koyu is a minor character, I can't see them missing out on this opportunity. Moving back to the main cast, there are others to consider. Personally, I feel that Bungo Stray Dogs' Akutagawa is best suited as Aesop Curl, the Embalmer. Though I realize this would give him yet another crossover skin, I honestly can't think of any others that would realistically fit him, and I can't see him being excluded from the bunch. As for my personal favorite character, Nakahara Chuya, I firmly believe that his role in the crossover is set in stone as the Prospector. Though their abilities are not a firm match, they are easily the closest in terms of concept, with Chuya manipulating gravity, and Prospector being able to use his magnets to manipulate those around him with their poles. Not to mention, Prospector already has a hat, making the iconic outfit piece very easy to remodel onto him. To me, it seems only logical, and I'll be shocked if Chuya ends up as anyone else. As for the other characters I've predicted, I'm torn between a few contenders for who I think would also make an appearance. In my mind, I've imagined Higuchi as the coordinator, Yoshino as the doctor, and Kunikita as either the lawyer or the lucky guy. All of these are perfectly fitting, and I could see any or all of them appearing in some way or another. But my guess is that Higuchi and Yoshino could potentially end up in a situation very similar to Dawn and Hilda from The Promised Neverland, where one is free for event players. However, I must admit that Higuchi is a much more minor character, though I like her a lot, so I may be biased in assuming she would make an appearance at all. Realistically, it is more likely that we would see Yoshino and Kunikita in these roles. Ultimately, these are my predictions for the Bungo Stray Dogs crossover Essence. I'm most upset that I couldn't find a way to squeeze Rompo into a roster as well, as he's one of my other favorites, but unfortunately, I'm not sure who would fit him best. In my head, these are the contenders for potential costumes we may see in the upcoming Bungo Stray Dogs crossover. Do you agree with my picks, or do you have an alternate view on what we might see in the crossover? Let me know, as I'd love to hear alternative thoughts. Thank you again for 100+ subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be.